Cloud gamers were definitely sent a crushing blow when Stadia, the cloud gaming platform from Google, was announced to be shutting down by January 2023. As gamers scramble to find suitable replacements, here's what has to be considered, we feel, when making your choices. Join us for what cloud gamers should look for when replacing Stadia. It is CDO Daily. Let's get into it. What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K of PNTS Network and Cloud Dosage platform, back again with another CDO Daily. That's right, new branding. But before we get into this one, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses. We appreciate all of y'all. Straight up, y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, and by now y'all should know the slogan. We are not too proud to ask. All right, so let's get into today's video. So I felt like putting something together real quick before we got into the meat and potatoes of the work week, because starting Monday, we're gonna keep some of the same programming, but we're gonna be adding some new ones. A lot of it is going to be helping former Stadia gamers transition into what's remaining in the cloud space. You know what I'm saying? I understand that there are some select people that are deciding to go into console gaming or whatever, and that's fine, that's cool, that's your choice. And definitely check out the variety of console gaming podcasts and stuff that are out there, and stay tuned to me on my MM2K videos channel. We're looking to revive some of our old console content, particularly on Twitch, the Hard Knock Digital Culture, and a whole bunch of other things, so stay tuned. But this is specifically for the overwhelming majority of you guys and gals out there, those of you that will be cloud gaming still, because that's the bread and butter of the way that you can game. All right. So with that being said, there are things specifically that you've gotten accustomed to because of Stadia, because Stadia did it well. And we're going to examine three. I got to be upfront here. This is something preliminary here. So what we're going to do is we're going to examine three of the remaining major cloud platforms, because I got to be honest, there's a couple out there like Boosteroid and Antstream, I believe it is. And then there's Blacknut as well. I haven't had an opportunity to touch them, but that's going to change here shortly as we go into this week. But I want to go into the ones that I have had access to regularly, and let you know what my thoughts are on them and what to expect from them and what is our best foot forward based off of those platforms. All right. So with that said, let's get right into it. So we got to be upfront and honest here about the void that Stadia is leaving for you all that are watching this, that have been followers of this content when it was StadiaDosage. We gotta be on the up and kill about it. Cloud gaming is not doomed, it's not over, but it's not going to be the same experience during conversion for you all. We got to be upfront and honest about that. All right. And Stadia was very important to a huge swath of you cloud gamers for the simple fact that it was convenient, meaning there was no clunky UIs or long waits to get into game. It was very cost effective. It did not require significant investments in hardware, etc., to play where you wanted. Third reason is it was reliable no matter where you played. You know, what you got on the phone, on your TV, on the Chromebook, wherever, PC, was the same experience across the board. And that kind of reliability, unfortunately, is not everywhere. Also, it offered the most ways to engage with games in the cloud. Like their store supported, you know, if you wanted to own a la carte licenses, you know, if you wanted to be part of like a Games Plus amenity service on a level of an Xbox Live Gold or a PlayStation Now, where, you know, you got certain amenities and you got free games every month that you could collect and build your library with. So they had that type of service. And they also had a full-fledged subscription service in the name of Ubisoft Plus that, again, were all embedded within their store. All right. And Stadia's market was just great for cloud gamers looking for ease of access. Because one thing we're definitely not going to forget and we're going to miss is that return policy that, we got to be honest, was second to none. All right. Period. Across anybody, whether it's cloud or not. But we got to get over the fact that there is not a single service that's going to provide you all of those pillars the way Stadia did. And for two, you definitely have to get over it if you're a cloud gamer that's really hamstrung from going to a platform, a PC or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? If you got to stay stuck to the cloud again because of convenience or price or whatever, then those are the trade-offs that you have to be honest about up front and realize they're just not going to be there off the bat, right? However, that doesn't mean that we can't influence those to step up to the plate and fill up the gaps left by Stadia. Like, for instance, I give my hats off to NVIDIA Geforce Now. In their Reddit, they did a survey and they said, look, Stadia gamers who have been disenfranchised from them closing and now have signed up with us, what is it that you like? What is it that you don't like about the service? That's the type of stuff we need to see from all these cloud platforms. I'm going to be honest with you. I was kind of perturbed. I didn't see that from Xbox Cloud Gaming, being that they seem to be, when you look at different surveys and the different attitudes from people, excuse me, they seem to be the most thought of or sought after cloud platform because of their library, you know, but we're going to talk about all that. I'm going to give my opinions. And again, these are my opinions on it. But I was kind of perturbed. I didn't see that from them. We've even seen Amazon Luna. They had this pre-Prime Day sale, which we knew, you know, you put two and two together. It's inspired by Stadia closing, which is a cool thing. We've seen them do this thing where they have these phenomenal bundles for Amazon Luna. You know what I mean? I've even seen something, I believe it was it Black Nut or Antstream, one of those two cloud services now you get 30% off, I believe, if using the code LostStadian. So everybody seems to be hopping at the bit to try to appease these disenfranchised gamers, which is great, which is very comforting. And I think GFN with its survey did a great job. It's just that I was a little disappointed. I didn't see really anything from Xbox Cloud Gaming in the same vein. I saw something from Major Nelson that said, I'm ashamed to see, or I'm saddened to see that another cloud platform is going under, I'm saddened to see when competition, dissipates or something like that. But beyond that, I don't think we've seen any accommodating gestures. Which again, when you look at the polls, and again, Stadia was, we extrapolate data and look at things and look at what analysts were saying. Stadia was up there of the top engaged cloud platforms. So, I mean, if you're looking to really bolster your service with very experienced cloud gamers, those that fit into the target demo that will help catapult your platform, you know what I'm saying, and help subsidize your efforts while you're trying to build your platform and go to the mainstream when the time is right. I don't think there's any better crowd than the Stadia crowd to help do that. They're very dedicated, you know what I'm saying, to efforts, to olive branch efforts, and I'm expecting to see more from Xbox. But let's not make this an Xbox bashing contest right now. We're going to talk about the three platforms. The three platforms that I do want to talk about is Xbox Cloud Gaming, Amazon Luna, and I want to talk about Geforce Now. All right, so with no further ado, let's do that. Again, with this in mind, that these services are here. We got to get over it. Stadia is not going to be here. We're already seeing signs to where even Ubisoft Plus is going to be disassociated from the store. So if you had Ubisoft Plus and that was the way that you engage with Ubisoft games, you're not going to be able to do that any further on the Stadia platform. So, that you got to get over, and I was one that, opposite of Division 2, I didn't buy any games. I didn't buy any games on the from Ubisoft because I didn't have to because I had Ubisoft Plus. So that's going to affect me. So now I got to find somewhere else to go, definitely, because that's 90% of what I play on Stadia is Ubisoft games, right? So let's talk about it. We're going to look at the 3 services. And the first service that I definitely want to look at is Xbox Cloud Gaming. Okay, let's do that. Let's go look at Xbox Cloud Gaming, and you know how we do. Let me show you something. So this is like one of the landing pages for Xbox Cloud Gaming. One of the biggest game on the platform really is Fortnite, and that's part of the beta. So really, you can see what Xbox Cloud Gaming is all about by trying out Fortnite. I think Fortnite is probably the best tweaked game on the platform just because it's Fortnite. They wanted to make sure it was nice and smooth. This move was made to supplement those that may have Apple devices, that because of the ongoing battles between Epic, Tim Sweeney, and Apple, that Xbox Cloud Gaming was used to supplement for those Apple users that no longer can go to the Apple Store and play Fortnite. They can play via the browser and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Very smart move. And honestly, out of all of my Xbox Cloud Gaming experience, this is the most reliable one. Just unfortunately, it's a game that I don't play, but that's just me. All right, so as you look here, there's a lot of games here. There's DayZ, Empire Sun, and Xbox. Xbox Game Pass has always been one of the most critically acclaimed gaming libraries out there. A variety of games out there that you can go ahead and try. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You got all the Xbox exclusive titles that are out there. You even got MLB The Show and stuff like that. So the library is pretty vast, right? And I think on the cloud, I think there's close to 300 games that you can play on the cloud. And that, again, includes games like Back 4 Blood and stuff like that. So, now these games are leaving soon. Well, no, hold on, leaving soon. No, that Back 4 Blood isn't leaving soon, but this is a look at all the games I believe that you can play via Xbox Cloud Gaming. So, definitely a vast library of games, right? But let's look at the entire pros, the entire cons, and I'm going to be scoring all these out of 5 based upon their individual ability to give you those pillars that Stadia gave you, which was convenience, cost effectiveness, reliability no matter where you played, and offer the most ways to engage with games. All right. And again, this is all preliminary with the hopes that as we former Stadians hop into these different platforms, we can influence these platform providers to provide those things that made Stadia so great, along with keeping the things that already are making their platforms great as well. All right. So let's talk about the pros. When we talk about Xbox Cloud Gaming, the pros are nominal fee. You got to be part of Game Pass Ultimate, which is $14.99 a month. Not horrible, not bad. And then being part of Game Pass Ultimate automatically grants you access to the cloud portion. Vast rotating library of games. Like I said, there's a rotating library of 300 games, which the Xbox games always stay in there. Okay, so that's a plus. And it's best used via mobile phones. Like if you're on a mobile device, that's where Xbox Cloud Gaming performance and most notably the fidelity and stuff seems to be the best. There is over the cloud on a mobile device. So those are the pros. Here goes the cons, particularly for someone that may be super used to Stadia. the output is inconsistent game to game. So you're going to more often than not run into games that don't, like you'll go ahead and you'll play something like Fortnite, and then you're like, oh, okay, well that's great. So let me go play Gears, which is an Xbox game. I really, kick-ass Xbox game. Let me try that. And you'll try it, and you'll find the experience to be not so great, not as reliable. And the reliability from game to game is really, there's no rhyme and reason to it. You know what I'm saying? You can't boil it down to an engine or whatever. It's just the way it is what it is. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but don't expect a consistent experience game to game. And people may say, well, that's the case with many games. No, I mean, like, the one thing with Stadia is, we had our good ports and we had our bad ports, and the good port and the bad port was just determined out of the gate. But the games really aren't ported to Xbox Cloud gaming. It's like a flip of the switch, pretty much, that, allows it to be played in the cloud. And for whatever reason, games just aren't consistently playable there. Now, a lot of people may say, well, to me, it's consistently playable. And then I ask people, well, how often do you play? Well, I play in my bed, a few hours. But no, we're talking about Stadia gamers who, for the most part, Stadia was their main way to play, their only way to play, a significant way to play. So their engagement with cloud gaming was a lot more severe than someone just playing, trying to help themselves go to sleep. So there's a lot more reliability required when it comes to controls and things of that nature. Control response, latency, and all that other stuff. So it's not an even comparison. So that's one thing to take into consideration as a con. And it's not the best experience over PC. I know it's gotten better, but again, it's that same reliability. It's best over mobile. And that's why you hear a lot of people say, oh, yeah, when I was on vacation on my tablet or on my phone, I thought it was pretty cool when I was at the airport or whatever. But if you're a serious cloud gamer, like how we were with Stadia, and you played on everything, and most of your time went to your TV and not your phone, you might have some heartburn going from game to game. My suggestion is to try to dilute that heartburn, is to ensure that you're playing wired. Because if you're not playing wired, my God, and the opinions and the information I'm giving you is while it's wired. So, because all my connections are wired, so I can imagine the difficulty and the frustration there would be if you're not playing wired, if you're trying to play Xbox Cloud Gaming wired. I know a lot of people played Stadia over Wi-Fi and their setup was fine. I don't recommend that at all with Xbox Cloud Gaming. You can go get some Cat 7 cords on Amazon. I just get some long ones, and I had some work done where my handyman drilled some holes from my router that's in the living room up to my office that's on the second floor. And, I did it that way, or however way you do it. Like, there's like little nick and tack kits that come with a lot of these Cat 7 cords on Amazon, depending on how far they got to go. But I highly recommend getting a Cat 7 cord, running it from your router to wherever your PC is if you're going to do a lot of cloud gaming PC play, and hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you're close to a data center, the games that you want to play are the most reliable, and so forth. So with all that said, because of all those factors, out of 5, as far as singularly replacing your Stadia experience, we give Xbox Cloud Gaming 3 out of 5. Okay? Singularly. Again, remember, that's how we're ranking this. Singularly. Because what gamers are looking for is they're looking for ways to... They want to be able to just rely on one platform more so than having to go to multiple platforms. I got a message for that at the end of all this, but if that's your goal and Xbox Cloud Gaming is the platform that you're looking at, I would say that, you know, I'd rank it 3 out of 5. All right. So and if you do it, you know, 7 out of 10, that's a C. Or no, well, really that's 6 out of 10. You know what I mean? So you do the math. But again, that's singularly. All right. Next, let's talk about Amazon Luna. All right. So let's do that. And let's go to Amazon Luna's page. All right. So Amazon Luna, you know, they have, they're very similar to Xbox Cloud Gaming, except they have different channels. Like their games aren't just sitting in Xbox or Game Pass. There's like different channels that you can engage with that have different prices. Like they have the Luna Plus channel, which is their version of Game Pass, you could say. It has all of their selections of games, and you can access that for $9.99 a month. There's a family channel that has family-friendly games, $5.99 a month. A retro channel with retro games. There's the Ubisoft Plus channel where it has all the Ubisoft games. Jack and Box games if you just want party games, you know. So they really try to chop up the games that they're offering in their subscription service in various buckets, because and not try to give you an all for one size fits all approach to it, right? So and then they also offer, if you're a Prime member, they have a select like anywhere between 5 to 6 games a month or every 2 weeks that rotate that are part of the greater Luna family that allow you to engage with games and just see if you like the Luna experience. And if you like playing any of these games that are available just from your Prime subscription, then you can extend it by getting into one or more of these channels. All right. So that's how Luna Plus is, or that's how Luna is. Now the pros for Luna is it's low cost to entry as well. Like you can get into its flagship channel, which is the Luna Plus channel, for $9.99 a month. Now, if you were lucky like me and wise like me, and I did it just because I felt like that out of any of the cloud platforms, I've always said this, even though it wasn't my favorite way to play right now, I always felt like that Amazon Luna really had the quickest route to the top. And so I said, even though it's really not for me right now, I have to stay embedded in this platform. So even though like the only thing that I really played on it recently or religiously was Immortals Phoenix Rising, because it just played better there for me than it did on Stadia. I've kept my Luna Plus subscription. I'm grandfathered into it as a founder, kind of sort of, or a founding member, whatever Luna calls their people that were there like at launch. And so I have access to this for $5.99 a month. Luna Plus, right? So for a nominal fee or very nominal fee, depending upon how wise you were in engaging with this platform, you can access his flagship channel, which is Luna Plus. Also, it also has the reliability from platform to platform is the closest you're going to get to Stadia. Like, so much of it is very familiar to Stadia, how the controller works, the direct stream, all that stuff is very similar to Stadia. So you're going to find that this is the handling and the operating with the platform is very, very similar, and you're going to feel right at home that way. Here are the cons. The biggest con is that it's US only. So a lot of you that are not in the US, you're not going to be able to engage in this. So a lot of this is just bibble babble for me. It's like, well, what the hell, MM2K? Who cares? right? And I get it. So that's something that I'm hoping that Amazon, in the closure of Stadia, I know Amazon wants to play this. Amazon, what I feel is Amazon is doing a very smart thing. If you look at statistics, they're trying to piggyback experience off their Fire TV experience, right? And if you look at Amazon's Fire TV experience, the overwhelming majority of its Fire TV experience is in the United States. When you look in other territories, it's not even close. And I didn't realize there was that much of a gap between Fire TV adoption and usage in the United States versus everywhere else. So because its footprint is so slight everywhere else, and it looks like that they're trying to piggyback Amazon Luna to the success of the Fire TV, they're very slow in moving elsewhere. So they're only in the US. The other problem is, which it's again, them being slow moving in the US makes smart business sense because cloud gaming is only 1 to 3% of the whole gaming power right now. But again, for those of you that are thirsting for a new platform to adapt to after the closure of Stadia, that's not going to help you at all. Also, another con is that outside of the Ubisoft games, I mean, there are decent titles, even in the Luna Plus. Like they did get a big name RPG recently, day and date. But outside of the Ubisoft titles, and I want to say that, there's really no big ticket games in Luna Plus. You know what I'm saying? And when I say big ticket games, I'm like how Stadia got. You're not going to see a lot of situations like Stadia where they're getting Saints Row day and day. The Resident Evil, stuff is coming day and date, and they're gonna where they made the deal before Google pulled the rug out to get Dead Island 2. You're not gonna there's not a lot, at least right now, there's not a lot of that in Amazon Luna, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of that even with the closure of Stadia, because again, that takes significant investment, and I don't think where Luna is headed right now. They're taking things very nice and slow, and they're not trying to leapfrog the analyst projections. I think when analyst projections show that, it's more up and around the 10, 15, 20 percentile, then you'll start seeing those investments. So they're taking this very slow. You're going to see, some surprises here and there. But as much as Stadia was lauded for its, lack of AAA titles day and date, it's going to even be less frequent, it appears, with Luna. So take that into consideration. So again, you're not going to get the Resident Evils day and date, and I think more frankly, it's because it's a subscription service, opposed to it being a letting you do a la carte purchases, where somebody I feel that what they would have to pay in order to get it into a subscription service, and being that it's a subscription service for a 1% business model, would be too significant for them to be able to bear with at the moment. So keep that in mind. You're not going to really get the heavy hitters day and date. All right. So that is Amazon Luna. Now let's talk about, last but certainly not least, and I got to give Amazon Luna's preliminary score. I give them 3.5 out of 5 when you balance everything. I mean, I know a lot of people may look at that and say, whoa, at least Xbox is everywhere. You only gave them 3 out of 5. Xbox is everywhere. The thing with Luna is, if it is available for you, the reliability far surpasses Xbox cloud streaming at the moment. Hopefully things get better. Again, as far as reliability and performance, it's the closest you're going to get to Stadia. And to be honest with you, I've been testing some games out recently to where that they were kind of like on par with Stadia, may have had a slight edge. they're performing a lot better now. Like Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Like Ghost Recon Breakpoint for me was unplayable on Stadia. It was just too blurry. That was a game that was not well optimized on Stadia. I play it on. I could play it on Luna with no problem. I had a lot of fun playing it on Luna, and I plan to play it more on Luna. So where Luna really shines is the Ubisoft game. So again, there's only so much I can give Luna because of the limitations of the catalog and the limitations of where it's available, definitely. But if you are in the US and you have access to Luna, as far as reliability, it, and uniformity across devices, it really gets no better than Luna right now, and as far as that's concerned. So, give that a shot. But again, the lineup and the availability globally is what hampers that. And to me, this is again my opinion. To me, that trumps somebody that's more available everywhere, but you're not getting consistent gaming, because I want to be able to pick up something and be interested in it. And the only thing that hampers my experience is the game itself. Like the game itself isn't good. But if the game is good, but I'm getting pixelations or just it's choppy or the latency is bad and I can't enjoy it, what's the purpose of it being available? So that's the way I'm looking at it. All right. But again, 3.5 out of 5. Last but certainly not least is NVIDIA GeForce Now. And a lot of what I'm going to say about NVIDIA GeForce Now has a lot to do with the 3080 tier. I gotta be honest with you, a lot of people aren't going to like this. It's going to give them heartburn. When it comes to, again, comparing to what Stadia offers, I don't think that the free tier, because it's very limited and you're sitting in queues and all that other stuff, is even a viable option, and you only get an hour at a time, and then you got to sit back in the queue. I don't think the priority tier, even though they've made improvements to that, still the latency I feel and the pixelation and stuff, I don't like it. I still don't like it. But the 3080 tier, I think, is the best option for Stadia gamers. It's better in many ways. It's not as good in other ways. We're going to talk about it. All right. So first, let's go over the pros. So again, the pros are great performance with that 3080 tier. You're going to get great performance. Out of all the platforms that are being announced, this is the one that gives you full 4K. So if you were one of those 4K buffs from Stadia, them resolution hawks, kind of like how I am, like even if they had to upscale the resolution of 4K, you're going to get that and some when it comes to Amazon Luna. I mean, comes to GeForce Now 3080 tier particularly. Another great thing is that the Ubisoft Plus subs are honored. So it's kind of like with GeForce Now, you kind of get a lot of great options in a different way than you would, though. But it's somewhat is equivalent to what you get from Stadia, because here's the thing: with Stadia, you got so many ways to engage with games. There was free-to-play games, there was demos, all this stuff, right? GeForce Now kind of similarly has a lot of that stuff, and they honor Ubisoft Plus, okay, they don't have an equivalent to Stadia Pro because they don't have a storefront, but if you're an Epic Games account holder, those free games that they give you via Epic Games, most of them, if not all, are playable via GeForce Now. So that's kind of like having a Stadia Pro subscription and getting free games. You know what I'm saying? Now, are those Epic games always at the quality of always at the quality of what you were getting from Stadia Pro? I don't know about that. There are oftentimes to where the games that they have are definitely as good, if not better, than what was offered on Stadia Pro at times, but more often than not, maybe not. And again, every single game that is being offered isn't available on Geforce now. Just take that into consideration. Also, if you're not comfortable taking the full plunge into cloud gaming as of yet, because Stadia scared you with its closure, and you are going to do a hybrid thing, my recommendation is to hybrid with PC. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. I think consoles are here to stay. Is when it comes to consoles, I prefer the PlayStation console, but PlayStation right now, I don't think has a, like, performance-wise, PlayStation now is cool, but the catalog is not, you know, it's not in the running, it's not even in the running with xCloud at the moment. Hopefully things change. And again, if you're going to do hardware to cloud and you want to piggyback off of something, my suggestion is, if money isn't that too much of a deterrent, my suggestion would be to do it via PC. If you can do it via PC, because then if you do it via PC, not only do you get access to, you know, PC games via Steam and all the other stuff, but then you have Geforce Now as a piggyback, and you also get the Steam Deck as a piggyback, opposed to where if you do it via the cloud, you know what I'm saying, your piggyback is Xbox Cloud Gaming. If you get an Xbox, you know, and this new Logitech device, which is almost as pricey as a Steam Deck, you know what I'm saying? Like, it depending upon your financial situation will depend upon which you find the best option to use. But I like Geforce Now because that 3080 tier is a great option, and it gives you so many ways to engage with games. So it's not just the platform itself. You know, as far as Ubisoft Plus is concerned, it's a bunch of other things that you can get to, you know, like I said, the free Epic games and stuff like that. So makes that a great option. Here's the cons though. The cons are the clunkiness getting into the game. As I've seen a lot of Stadia gamers try Geforce Now, and even referring back to that survey that was done on Reddit, the constant line is clunky UI, clunky UI, clunky UI. And that is part of the reason why I originally stepped back from GFN, particularly the 3080 tier, because I felt like if I was paying significantly more, that I wanted that part to go away, and they haven't figured that part out yet. It's faster, don't get me wrong. Getting into games is faster on the 3080 tier, and it's more plausible. That's why I don't even consider the priority tier in this discussion. That's just me. And people may say, MMTK, you're being too harsh, whatever the case may be. Again, I'm trying to I'm talking to Stadians, former Stadia gamers, and trying to help them find the ways to best supplement what they're going to miss from Stadia. And I don't think priority tier does that. The free tier definitely doesn't do that. I think the 3080 tier is the best shot at that. But there are cons. Again, the UI is clunky. And when it's harder for me to get into a game via the cloud than it is natively, because then I got to select a game on GFN. I got to wait for it to connect. Then you go through these UI things, and God forbid if I'm trying to do this via a mobile device, yeah, it can be bad. Now there are instances to where if it's a game that you're playing regularly, like say if you log in and you're having a hard time doing it at first, if you log in and play it again later, it's going to be a lot simpler. It's going to take you through the prompts a lot faster or whatever. But it's just, it can be a pain and definitely a deterrent. But it's makes something that may be worth swallowing at the end, because again, Stadia is not here, you know, and this is what you have. again, the most reliable option that I think is really adequate for Stadians is the 3080 tier. It is expensive. It's $20 a month. $20 a month or $200 a year. And the problem with that is another problem with that is that's not where the cost pains, they don't end there. So the great thing with Stadia is the performance I got on my TV is the same performance I got on my, you know what I'm saying, on my PC, and the same performance I got on my phone. As long as my devices were capable of XYZ, that's what I got on Stadia. The 3080 tier doesn't work like that. The 3080 tier, opposite of the $20 price point, and you having a specific RTX card, it's not that, there's nothing extra that you need. You just need that $20. You gotta have a specific RTX card. They give you a lineup of the RTX card, and you get all the amenities, the upscale to 4K and all this other stuff that comes with it, right? Right now, and I could be wrong, correct me in the chat, I know you guys will. The 3080 tier, all those bells and whistles aren't available via Chrome. Via the Chromebook, excuse me. And if you want to play the 3080 tier on your TV, I do not recommend playing it without a NVIDIA Shield, which is going to be another $200. I've tried it when I had it, and it was worse than playing the priority tier. There's predictive, I'm imagining there's like predictive controlling or something that's happening there that goes well on your TV as long as it's being played through the NVIDIA Shield. But if you try to like sideload a dongle or something like that onto a Google TV or even a Fire Stick, either or, you're going to have heartburn trying to play. If you have the 3080 tier, you cannot play on the TV without an NVIDIA Shield. And again, that's another $200. The NVIDIA Shield Pro, I think it is. And that's another $200. Now, I hear that the experience through the NVIDIA Shield Pro is great, but again, if you're a Stadia gamer, you're just used to, as long as the device itself is capable, you're just used to bouncing from device to device to device without, you know, what RTX card I have, what this, that, you ain't got to worry about all that. Right? So because of that, where, for all intents and purposes, where I personally think, for my use case, I think that Geforce Now is like a 4, maybe a little bit over. When I look at my individual use case and what I can use to replace Stadia, I would give it a 4 out of 5, maybe a little bit over 4. When I think of the general gamer, and go to that Reddit post and just look at what people are saying. Like, people are getting over, they're mad at Google, they're angry. It's not no fanboyism over Stadia. It's, look, honestly, this does not feel as good. I'm bumping it down to 3.75. Still the highest out of the 3, definitely. But again, because of the lack of convenience and the lack of consistency, device to device to device, and the price, it definitely, can be a drawback to a Stadia gamer. And again, our litmus is, for those that are looking to replace Stadia, that really enjoyed that experience with Stadia and got used to what Stadia offered, when you bump it up against to what everything else offers, how much of a replacement can all of these do that singularly? My use case 4.0, maybe 4.2. For everybody else, For I think the general Stadia gamer, I'm going to say like a 3.75, which isn't bad. It's over a C. Close to, what is that? 7.75 is, 3.75 is 7.5 out of 10. You know what I mean? Now, with that said, that doesn't mean, right, that that's it for all of these cloud platforms. Like, they're not going to get any better. They're not going to make any improvements. That I don't believe at all. If, again, what I applaud from GFN by them immediately putting that survey out there tells me they are highly engaged and understanding what they need to do to fill in the gaps to provide what Stadia provided better than them, to make this transition as seamless and to honestly make it like Stadia never was. Because again, when it comes to Geforce now, they have the library. And even though Stadia as a standalone platform, I think it was being built in a way that it was going to be able to do more stuff in the long term. Gaming is a selfish hobby, and it's about right now. Right now, it's just about getting the games that people want to play and making those games play great and making it easily accessible to those games for those that are disenfranchised from hardware. So anything that Geforce Now or any of these other platforms, Luna, or xCloud can do, that's great. So I love this, what I saw from Geforce Now. I love the olive branch that I've seen. I love what I've seen from Luna. I'm a little disappointed from the lack thereof from xCloud. Hopefully we'll see more, but we'll soon see. And with that said, again, this is not, I can only rate the platforms that I played before. I know there's Blacknut, there's Boosteroid, there's Antstream. We here at Cloud Dosage have reached out to everybody, and we're looking to get access and, talk to people more so we can better inform you. So stay tuned for all that. But again, this is my preliminary thoughts on, what's going on with these cloud platforms. I want to say the top three that remain after Stadia has gone down. I'm very interested in, for instance, for Boosteroid. I've had a lot of conversations about that platform, so we'll soon see. Again, they don't have 4K across the board yet, but once they get it, man, that's going to be dope. All right, with that said, that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, I'm curious what I think. But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knocks Digital Culture, and yes, here, the Cloud Dosage platform. With all that said, peace. Have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day.